Once upon a time, in the fall of 1962, the world held its breath. The reason? The Cuban Missile Crisis. It was a tense and emotional time. People were scared. They feared nuclear war. Let's take a step back, shall we? Cuba had gone through a revolution in 1959. Fidel Castro became the leader of this small island nation. He was young and charismatic, but he had powerful enemies. The United States didn't like him much. They didn't like communism either, and Cuba was now communist. This caused friction between these two neighbors. But things were about to get worse, much worse. Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev saw an opportunity to gain an advantage over the United States by placing nuclear missiles in Cuba. In October 1962, American spy planes discovered something scary: missile sites being built on Cuban soil. Panic ensued as people realized that nuclear war could be imminent. President John F. Kennedy had a difficult decision to make. How would he respond? He knew that any misstep could lead to catastrophe for everyone involved. His advisors were divided. Some wanted war while others pleaded for diplomacy. Tensions rose as JFK kept his cool under unimaginable pressure from both sides. A naval blockade around Cuba was ordered by JFK himself. It was risky but necessary. This action showed Khrushchev that America meant business without starting an all-out war just yet. Days went by with no resolution in sight. Both leaders knew they had to act fast before things escalated even further beyond their control. Finally, after 13 nerve-wracking days of uncertainty, Khrushchev blinked first. He agreed to remove those pesky missiles from Cuba if America agreed not to invade this tiny island nation ever again. And so it happened. Both sides stepped back from the brink of annihilation just when everything seemed lost. Phew. The Cuban Missile Crisis was an emotional roller coaster that left the world forever changed. It taught us all a valuable lesson. Sometimes, the fate of the world can hang by a thread. But in that moment, two leaders found it within themselves to step back and seek peace instead of destruction. And for that, we can all be grateful. And so ends our tale of high stakes and close calls, a story of fear, courage, and hope.